Saturday. Today we are talking
All
coffee
right,
with
welcome
Kayla.
kings and queens.
Happy
Hi, Kayla.
Saturday. Today we are talking coffee with Kayla.
Hello, hello.
Hi,
We got a
Kayla.
How are you?
today we are talking coffee with Kayla. We got a little bit of
We have an echo? You hear an echo? Hold on. I don't know. I feel an echo. Okay. Does it sound good now? Is it good now? Okay. Does it sound good now?
maybe it's your end.
I can't hear
Kayla.
you. you know, everything that you just gave us background regarding, listen, it's 3 months post filming. You didn't know then what you know now. Is there anything you would have done or said differently?
If I could go back to that day in filming, I probably would have drank less and been less intoxicated. I probably would have taken more self time and like went to my dressing room and just kind of did a debrief. I also probably would have conducted certain interactions differently had I known the reality of some things. You know, I think people think TV is reality, and it is to an extent. However, for me, I take more serious the things that people don't do on TV, because I've been in entertainment for years. You know, I'm in the podcast world. People come online and they create personas, they act a certain way when they're being watched. So for me, I take it more what people do when they're not being watched, when they're not being filmed, when they're not being recorded. Those are the things I'm looking like, okay, that's really you. And I feel like the audience is seeing it vice versa. Like, well, if they didn't do it on camera, and I'm kind of like, why would what's on camera be real and what's not on camera be fake? Wouldn't it be vice versa for a reality show? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I was kind of confused.
So who was acting different? We're gonna keep it real without being messy. Who was acting different? I don't know if you're familiar with my page, but we talk. So if you can keep it cute, are you referring to a man or a woman?
I'm referring to both.
Okay, let's start with the man.
I mean, okay, so I'll start with the people I'm not connected with. I was super surprised at the whole Samson thing. As y'all saw, I was like, what? Because the information that I was getting about what was occurring off camera was opposite to somebody that's in a committed relationship when it comes to Charisse. For me, I could say both of the men I was connecting with, like post show, there was a lot of communication. And you know, they kind of came up there and act like there wasn't. I would say I was a little bit confused by some of the communication, like some of the hostility I was getting from people like Swayze. I was kind of like,
okay,
what are you? If you saw the digital exclusive, I was kind of like, why are you even interjecting in any of this? Like we didn't really talk since the first episode. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what are you, you know? And then as far as the women, I was just shocked by some of the direction that it went. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm all here for the shade. Let's talk shit. Let's argue. This is reality TV. But when you start like threatening people, then it's a line to me. And that line is at violence. And so, you know, there's the misconstrued people that are just like, oh, Kayla wants to talk about Black excellence. Da, da, da. I was like, but then is the main one talking shit? Yeah, this is a reality show. We're talking shit. But what I'm saying about Black excellence is that we can talk shit. We can have civil disagreements, arguments, whatever. It doesn't have to go to, I will fuck all these bitches up. You know what I mean? I will slap the fuck out of these bitches. That's where I'm like, we don't have to do that, right? That's all I was saying. Like, we don't have to do that part. We could just do the shave. Honey, you ain't cute. You ain't cute. We could do all of that. We don't have to do the whole, when we're in person, it's different. We're not on the internet where people just say things. We are in person. The energy is here. You know what I'm saying? And like things can escalate quite quickly. So I was just like, it doesn't need to come to that. And I was just like highly disappointed that it had to go past that line.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I was a bit taken back just from a perspective of just being a woman. Like, keep it classy, always sophisticated, right? Don't ever do anything that you will regret 5 years from now. You know, remember where you're going, not where you are, and carry yourself as such, period. Stand on where you're headed, right? So that part, I would, if I could interview Katie, and I would ask, what was that about? But let's switch gears for a second.
Okay.
How in the world did you end up And I'm gonna bring somebody up in a little bit, y'all. We got somebody that's coming through, y'all. So hang tight. We got somebody in the backstage. We're gonna bring up. How in the world did you end up on a reality show looking for love? Because you're a beautiful woman, HBCU graduate.
Yes.
Why a television show? Tell us more about that.
Okay, so everyone knows I'm in the media space. I'm a YouTuber. I do things like that, podcasting. I actually am a trained journalist, and went to school for journalism, was a publicist. So I'm not new to like that space. And so I got a message from an old casting director I used to work with. Back, in my dancing days. So through my dancing days, I also did commercials, where they have dancers in commercials. They have different people doing different things. So I got a call actually. Oh no, she DM'd me first, asked because she called. From a casting director I used to work with like 5-6 years ago on, I believe it was like a Pepsi commercial, like doing dance stuff. And she asked me like, Kayla, are you still single? There's this show that I think that you would be great for. It's a classy show. It's not like that. It's really about people who are seriously looking for love. And if you're still single, and I was like, well, I'm single-ish, I'm dating people.
Hold on, single, what does that mean?
It means that like you're seeing someone, but you're not in a committed space. Like you're dating, you're going on dates with someone. So you may have interest in someone, but the interest, you don't know them well enough to be in a relationship with them. So I was like, I'm single-ish. Like, sure, let's do it. Like if I meet somebody on this show that's that great, I will go from single-ish to in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? What's up, my boy? What's up?
Yes. LJ is in the building.
It's Mr. Polygamy himself. I'm so excited that he is here with us. Yes.
I had to because you were saying single-ish. And I'm like, you know what? Now would be the
perfect time for someone else who is single-ish.
Okay, you know what? I'm not going to even let you warm up. We got to get straight to the bottom of it because you brought your ex on the show to meet your potential connections, and she dropped a bomb during your group date, and she shared with the other women that you and her were still intimate. Bro, I'm gonna let you have a floor. We just gonna let you have a floor on this one. And you know what? It wouldn't be right. I just didn't. Go ahead, explain yourself.
I feel, and I'll see all the comments out there, Twitter and all this stuff. But you, myself, Kayla, we all know if we're dating, right? We're not just dating one person at a time, right? You're talking to multiple people. You're trying to get to know what's the best fit for you. So I'll start there. I did bring her on the show, which was kind of bold, I guess, right? But I didn't expect her to be like, yeah, I love you. I didn't expect that part, right? Obviously, I know, we've been intimate and all that stuff, but my thought process is, in normal life, right? If we're out, let's say me and Kayla were dating, we're out, and I'm in circles, there may be somebody else that I've probably had some type of something with, not necessarily a full-blown relationship, right? So that's what would happen in real life. So I figured, if I want to be true to myself, if I'm going to be or find somebody, they have to understand like what could be happening, what are the potential things that could happen in the real world. So I figured I'd bring my ex on. I knew we were intimate recently. It was a month ago, not 2 days ago, by the way.
Well, hold on, because I need to make sure you understand what an ex is, okay?
I mean, at that point, how long have we been there when we did the ex dates? I think it was about a month.
It was probably over a month or so, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why her? Of all the people you could have reached back and said, come on, babe, come support me, help your boy out. Why her?
I mean, again, I figure I just keep it real, like keep it true to who I am. I bring somebody that I've had relations with recently, and that's I guess I didn't try to go the safe route like some others, like they brought a friend or something. Like maybe I should have, but I mean, I have no regrets. No regrets at all.
Okay, all right. Well, you know what? Thank you for being open to answer that question. I feel like you answered that very well. I feel like you gave us some closure. And I'm okay with it. Are y'all good with it in the chat? Because I am. Kayla, we're jumping back to you.
Yes.
So we talked about why you would come on this show.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful woman. I mean, they're lighting up the chat about how beautiful you are, right? And
Thank
not
you.
only that, I've engaged with you, right, in the YouTube space. Now, what's some feedback that you've heard about yourself throughout your dating experience, including Ready to Love, that you're probably like, you know what? Okay, maybe it's me. And not in a bad way. You know how sometimes we get feedback consistently? What's one thing you've heard about yourself throughout your dating experience?
Sure. So one thing that I've heard is that like I'm guarded. And so I can come off as like non-committal or like not serious because of that. And I've been through things, you know, I've had a failed engagement. I've been through things. I've been hurt. I've been through things. So I'm just not trusting. I don't meet a guy and be like, he's the one. Like, no, sir. Who are you? What you got going on? Who you still seeing? What you doing? Like, that's kind of my energy. And so I have gotten that can be like combative and that can be like guarded. And so I just seem like, you know, that I wouldn't be willing to commit. But the thing is that I just have to see that there's a reason and that it will be worth risking my heart again, to be honest.
Okay.
So I'm just like, hey, let's have fun. Let's hang out. Let's see what you got going on. But for me to like deeply invest in somebody, it will take that person a not good deal of work to break down the walls, but like they will have to really prove that they're serious about me before I take them serious. Like they need to show me they're serious first. And I feel like in the Ready to Love space, all the women were some reason trying to show the men that they were serious and that you're my number one. And I'm just kind of like, we don't know these niggas. Like, just because OWN said they cool, that don't mean that they cool.
I think that's the historical context and drive of the show where the women are actually having to get out there and be hunters. You said something, but I want to come back to it because I want to pose the same question to LJ, but I want you to think about it. You said maybe letting your walls, I mean, they would have to bring your walls down or, you know, I heard many, many years ago a therapist say, it's not their job to bring your walls down. It's your job to let them down. Marinate on that. I'm going to come back.
That's a good quote, right? I believe that.
Yeah. Yeah. LJ, what's something what's consistent feedback you've heard about yourself as a man? Just throughout your dating experience, reality television, no reality television, where you can really say, you know what, I probably do need to work on that.
Yeah. I would say outside of reality television is that sometimes I could be impatient and not compassionate. And I say that because I'm a strong-minded person, right? And my mentality and my personality is that if I want to go and get something, or I want to achieve something, that I'm going to go and have tunnel vision and I'll do that, right? So I don't really have time to feel like, you know, let's say something isn't working out. I don't really have time to feel like down and complain about it and all this stuff. I just feel like if I want to get it, I'm going to go do it. And that's it. Like, I don't have time for all the excuses and all these different things. And, you know, dealing with a woman, you know, where women are more emotional in nature, that can come off as like you don't care about, you know, how they feel and during this journey to achieve whatever they're achieving. But for me, it's just, you know, I think the mental thing is the most important thing, and that's driving everything else. And if that's there, then you're going to get where you want to get, regardless of how long it's taking, whatever setbacks you have, you're going to get there. So sometimes I get stuck in that way, and I guess like I need to be more patient, more understanding. That's what I typically hear, you know, from dating different women. That and you know, not spending as much quality time, because again, I'm always trying to achieve different things, and maybe some of that came off in the show, right, where I chose to go to work, well, I had to, right, versus I guess finding love. But that's kind of like a common theme in my life. But at the end of the day, we all have goals. I need to be at a specific point in my life, like you said, happy and content with achieving things and having things, so that when I find that woman, I could provide everything that I've accomplished with her and help her in that space, you know. So that's kind of what I guess a common theme for me is.
Okay, thank you. That was great. I'm going to shift back to Kayla, but I'm going to give you a yes or no question. LJ,
Mm-hmm.
have you ever been in love?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Let's transition back to Kayla. We're coming back to you. Kayla,
Yes.
I witnessed a scene where you were extremely vulnerable. You had a date with Mike and Randall, if I'm correct.
Yes.
They left.
Mm-hmm.
Your friend gave you some feedback.
Right.
It was the most beautiful moment. May have been a moment of vulnerability for you, but to me, you seemed so beautiful and soft in that moment. You cried. Why were you crying?
So, the show does what it does, but the misconception, whatever. So, my friend started talking about red flags. She was just like, Mike is literally a whole red flag. Like, it's giving me familiar. And so then we started to get into a deep conversation about my ex and like a lot of the jealousy issues that we had. Like we always had jealousy issues. It's just like, oh, so who's this? Like it's like I was always my fault when men would try to talk to me, or I'm in spaces with men and blah blah blah. And so after Mike did that whole thing with Randall, like this is the guy that she was just like, we're not doing this again. We're not doing this. This is what we're not doing again. Like you need someone that's going to be confident, that's going to be sure. Like they don't care about who's trying to talk to you. It's like, and then just some other things as far as the kids, because my ex has a very toxic, tumultuous relationship with his child's mother and her family. And so Mike has 3 kids. He says it's great, but we don't really know. So it was just like, she was just like, this is just a whole red flag. Like, and we just were talking about my past. So that's what really got me emotional. Cause I was like, when she was just like, you need to be more open with Randall, I was like, I felt like I was, but at the same time, she was right about like that sexual energy that I was allowing to take place, knowing that he's not not the one I should be like entertaining. So it was emotional for me because it was a learning experience. I was like, okay, I got to stop this,
What did you learn?
I learned that I have to look past like the physical and like those energy, those vibes when you first meet somebody, whatever that is, because that's not what makes a relationship. You know what I mean? Something like that can grow over time with someone who's actually, open and transparent, and just right for you. So in that moment, I learned a lot more about my own picking and my issues in that area.
That's good. No, that's great. I'm sorry, like I'm putting y'all on the spot. LJ, the lioness would like to know, are you in love now?
No, I'm not in love right now. Nah.
Okay. Are you ready for love?
I am. I didn't find love on the show, but
You found friends though. I see that you're very active on social media. Yeah, with the group, and when you came in, the women really liked you.
Yeah.
You felt safe. Like if I'm on the outside looking in and I'm thinking about how am I going to review this show, for me, I was like, okay, he feels safe. They like that island boy touch. What were your thoughts on how the women gravitated to you? Do you feel like it was more of a love interest or a friend?
I feel like I get that island vibe thing, right? I'm a guy. I'm always good vibes. And Kayla can tell you, it's always good vibes with me. Like I don't want drama. I don't have drama. Like always try to bring out and create an environment where everybody can feel comfortable. We're all having a good time. We're all being ourselves, and that's it. So that's the energy you're gonna get from me, regardless, like the entire time. So sometimes that could come off as just a friend vibe, right? If I'm not being intentional. Now that you feel safe, now that you feel in a good space with me, like what next? What am I doing? Am I trying to create a romantic type of a thing, or is it just still being on that surface level? And in the show, you'll see Tommy kind of mentioning that, like, oh, I should be digging deeper and not just being like, vibing around with everyone. So sometimes it could create that friendship vibe. It just depends on, I guess, how intentional I am about somebody or how that energy that I'm giving off makes someone feel. But I felt like it was both ways, right? Some girls, it was more friendship, and some it was more romantic. So you saw that. So I saw that with my connections. So yeah.
Real quick, Thank you to Lioness for supporting the channel. She says supporting the show and the panel. We appreciate it, Queen. Thank you. Thank you for the blessing. Kayla, question for you. Yes, ma'am. Outside of the show, if you had to describe to this audience who you are, how would you summarize who you are?
Okay, that's a good question. I would summarize myself as someone that is very multifaceted. Like, I am just genuinely a well-rounded Black woman. I can be from one end or the other. We can be super classy. We can be super ratchet. We can do all the things. We can go to the hole in the wall. We can go to the Congressional Black Caucus events. Like, we can do it all. That's who I am. And then personality wise, like, I just like to have fun. I like to have a good time, laughs. And I like to keep things that are sacred very close, including like family, my feelings, and things like that. I'm very sensitive. So I do have somewhat of a strong exterior because I am very sensitive. I am a crier. I am like, I'm sensitive. So overall, like, I hope that people can see all of that in totality, because that's me.
It's funny you say I'm sensitive, but that's how God made us. And I think if we were given a little bit more space and opportunity to embrace that sensitivity as a woman, especially as a Black woman, I think we would use words more like I'm just being me. I am who I am.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Without having to defend the femininity, because that's perfectly okay. But I like that you call that out. LJ, if you had to describe who you are outside of this show, how would you summarize that to the viewers?
I think me and Kayla are similar in the sense that we have a lot of fun. We could be wild and all this stuff, but I still have that kind of business-minded, focused type of mentality as well. So I could be, I could go into any room, any setting, and feel comfortable and be myself in those spaces. I do music. I'm an artist, so I'm very creative in my thinking, and I'm very free in my thinking, for lack of a better term. So I see things differently, right? I feel like I'm not like looking at things inside the normal box of what society, has made you think it should be. So that's my mentality. But I would say I'm a loving guy, a caring guy. I'm all about family. I have a little baby girl. She's gonna be 7 tomorrow, actually.
She's
so,
gorgeous. She's gorgeous. Yes.
Yeah. But she's gonna be very smart.
Yes, definitely.
She's gonna make a lot of money. I'm blessing her. I'm throwing out those affirmations. No, happy birthday to her.
Thank you.
You said,
go ahead.
What kind of singing do you do?
I do Afrobeats, R&B, pop, all that.
They want you to sing a little something, something.
Ooh.
Somebody sending more money for performance.
Drop a super chat. Drop a super chat if y'all want that exclusive.
Yeah, somebody got to sponsor that.
I'm gonna drop the link to my
put that link in the private chat and I'll post it right now. Kayla, they want to know, are there any connections that you feel you should have focused on more? It seems the two guys that you chose were emotionally unavailable. And before you answer that, I would agree wholeheartedly. I would have pieced them out so quick. But back to you, Kayla.
It was slim pickings this season based on the selection. The two other gentlemen that I may possibly consider were out of my age range. And so, no, like, those two people were probably Calvin and Samson, and they're both old enough to be like my father. So no, there was no one else there to pick from. I mean, Swayze was cool, but like, he's very similar to Mike. So no, you know what I mean? Like, personality wise, they're both Carol City boys. Like, it's just not, there was no one else. Sorry. I wish there was, child. I
Okay,
wish there was.
that's fair. Okay, anybody that you probably should have honed in on, like out the gate, and you caught yourself slipping?
I mean, I felt like I pretty much spoke to everybody. I know you didn't see everything on camera. Like I was speaking to Kayla, I was speaking to,
We were speaking.
I was speaking to everybody, but obviously they didn't show everything on camera. But I felt like I got along with everyone. Just my stronger connections were, on the show, Trinika, and Looney at the time. But I felt like I gave myself a fair chance of getting to know everyone, I would say. So I don't have any regrets. And, I'm still cool with everybody outside of the show. And we still talk, we still link up and all that stuff. So it's all good for me.
So why not pursue that outside of the show? I mean, if you felt a little something, the show is over, why not pursue it?
Who says I'm not pursuing anything?
Oh, hold on.
I've heard the streets were talking, so we'll see what happens.
Man. Yeah, no, but it's all good.
That environment is very difficult, to be honest, because it's a combination between like this pressure to pick somebody that you really don't know. And that's tough. I mean, we're only there for like 6-8 weeks. Like,
Still need time to get
yeah, we don't know each other. Like now we know each other, or the people that want to know each other. But like at that point, having to discuss your feelings about people that you barely know. I mean, y'all saw what was that episode 2 or 3 with the white party where they were like, who you want to eliminate?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know, because I don't really know them like that. Like, I don't know. So the process is difficult. It definitely is tough.
No, thank you both. We can, we're on the outside looking in. And it's easy to say what you would or could or should do. We don't know, right? But let me ask you this. LJ, based on everything you know about yourself, who you are, would you date you?
I would, but I would say this. I would caveat say this. I'm a free thinker. You're not. If I was a person that was looking for somebody that's outside the norm for the traditional ways of living life, and you want to have a good time, and I would date myself. If I'm somebody that I have this old school mentality of what a relationship should be or what society wants it to be, then maybe I'm not the guy for you. I would say that. But getting to know me, getting to know what I believe in, I'm definitely, I would say I would date me definitely. I would date me all day, every day. Yeah.
Okay, because I would definitely invite you over for Thanksgiving and hook you up with somebody. You seem like a really nice guy. Tell me about your family. Are y'all close knit? Are they here in the U.S.? I know tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so, I was born and raised in the Virgin Islands. So I was born in St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, raised in Tortola, British Virgin Islands. So I'm both American and British and all that stuff, right? But all my family is back home. I'm the only one that's here in Florida. So I have majority of my family on my mom's side is back in the Virgin Islands still. And then I have some family on my father's side that's in New York. But as it relates to like people here in Florida, I'm the only one. But me and my family are close, right? I mean, being in a place where you don't have family can be hard at times, especially when you're close to your family. So I try to go home at least maybe once a year. But since COVID, that's kind of slowed down. But I just recently actually flew my parents up here, right, to spend time with me and their granddaughter and stuff like that. So I do different things like that, take them on trips and all these things. So if I can't make it back, I bring them here to spend time with me. But yeah, I'm very close to my family. I mean, me and my pops were like this, like, people say I'm like splitting image of him and like the same personality-wise, all these different things. So I could talk to him about anything, girls, money, business, whatever. Like, we're close. That's like my guy, So I'm very close with family. I mean, family is a big thing for me. Even though I don't have them here, but it's definitely a big thing for me.
Yeah, I can feel that radiating through the screen. Where are you going for Thanksgiving? Since you in Miami by yourself, where are you going to be for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, that's a good question. So normally I go by my daughter's godfather. So my best friend, He's from actually Trinidad.
Okay.
So he has some family up here. You know, he has a house in Pembroke Pines. So I normally go over there and spend time with them.
Okay, because Teresa West, I don't know if you're single, but she's in Miami Gardens, Florida. So
Bye.
I'm just kidding, but we don't want you to be home by yourself for Thanksgiving. So yeah. All right, Kayla, there was a question.
Yes.
I'm gonna put it back up here if you would like to answer it.
Okay.
Kayla, when did you and Randall start dating after this show? From the line. I'm not asking. Somebody posted that.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Maybe about a month after, because I really was like, you know, you chose Jamala. So I clowned him hard, and I was like stiff arm him hard for weeks. He would call me, keep calling. Like, I'm not gonna stop calling. Like, I'm not gonna stop.
Wait
like
a minute. I lost. You and Randall are dating?
No, this was right after the show.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Like, you know, that period. But yeah, I mean, he was very persistent. And so I agreed to start like hanging out with him maybe about a month after we wrapped filming. And then, you know, that went on for maybe about a month. And then
was it worth it? Was he a waste of your damn time?
I mean, I never stopped the other things I was doing. I just kind of added him into the rotation. But I do think Randall is a good person. He just has a lot of things like he has to work on within himself. I do think once he figures that all out, he will be a good partner for someone. But, you know, I just wish him the best.
Yeah, I don't. But my thing is, you need to figure that out before you come on the show. Don't come on there wasting people's time, production's time, money. There could have been a different guy somewhere in the atmosphere that's actually ready to love. So, Randall, if you're listening to me, stop playing with us. Stop playing with us. Look, we keep it real over here for real. Like, don't come on TV doing that. But anywho, Kayla, we loved your family dynamics. Listen. I felt like Mike was going to choose you based on like your father embraced. Y'all got along so well. That was natural chemistry, like easy to roll into. Because it's often hard to get into a family dynamic and the mother likes you and the father likes you and you're actually laughing authentically, not forced.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about your family and your family dynamics.
Yeah. So I'm from Georgia. You know, I was raised Southern Baptist Christian, very strict. You know, both of my parents are big in education. You know, I was a part of Jack and Jill for a period, a debutante for a period. I was raised to be, you know, a successful, you know, go to Howard, do these things, even though my dad didn't want me to go to Howard. He wanted me to go to Clark because he is a professor at Clark, and he felt like, well, you know, and I was like, no, like they don't even have a journalism program. Like, you know, they only have like English. So, but overall, my family dynamics is very much so that like we are traditional Southern Black people. We were big on family. I grew up having like Sunday dinners at Nana's house, at Big Mama's house. Everybody was there every Sunday. If not that, then we're going to Golden Corral or Red Lobster. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the kind of our dynamics. Both of my parents have different spouses. My dad's been remarried for 20 years. My mom is engaged. She's been with someone for a while. So they both are in healthy other relationships and they're cool. They're good friends. They both come out to support me. Y'all can check that out on my channel. I've had them both there at like watch parties, events. Like they are cool. They're good. They have a good understanding. But they both have taught me important things I need to know about marriage based on like their divorce and then them both being, you know, remarried and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, my parents were very strict. I grew up very strict. But I was the one kid that got more freedom, I guess you could say, than my two younger brothers. They got no freedom. But yeah, that's kind of them, my family dynamic. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I really loved your family. Like that was like cool to see like a healthy Black family unit having fun. Like
yeah.
ready to embrace your connection, all of that good stuff. I want to see more of that. Like if they can bring that back and just carve out you and your family and something with that would be great.
I would love that. I honestly didn't expect the date to go the way it did with Mike and my family. I thought that it was going to go different, but it went like even with his brother, it went more surprisingly well than I thought it was going to, because me and Mike had already had kind of had that conversation. And that's what he meant when he said at the reunion we had an understanding, because we had the conversation right before then that like he kind of already let me know like what his decision was going to be. So I knew, but we couldn't say we can't do that because that's not how the process works. And so I was like, the way that we were all getting along, I was like, but
I give him credit though. At least he was honest.
mm-hmm.
A lot of men, they won't do that.
Yeah, it was just kind of weird that we started connecting more after that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, that's weird. But I do wish him and Brandy the very best. I hope that they have a very successful life together. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
LJ, I wanted to ask you, you feel like, you included, people are looking for love, or were they looking for a little bit of fame? A little come up?
On the show?
Yeah.
I feel like, getting to know everybody, I feel like there was a mixture of both. I think everybody has some type of selfish, what's the word that I'm looking for? There's some type. I mean, you're going on a TV show, so there's going to be some form of exposure, right? So you already know that, and that could be maybe a factor that you factor in taking a show. But I do honestly believe that people were there looking to see, if something could come of it. I think it was a situation where you might have went into it like, okay, this is new. I've never done this before. Let me see, if I could find somebody, right? Because I'll speak for myself. So this was my mentality going into the show. They reached out to me to do it. I was hesitant because I'd never been on it. I didn't really know about the show. I figured, okay, well, it's something new. They have filtered out people with what I, interpret to be on the same mindset, the same wavelength, right? In terms of their career, in terms of what they're looking for, what they're intentional about. Because in Miami, like, there's a bunch of beautiful people everywhere, right? That's everywhere, but not everyone has, the right mental or the right mentality, and have that good head on their shoulders. So I figured, they're vetted people for the show. They must have something to offer. So I went into it like, okay, this is what I expect. Hey, who knows? Maybe I'll find somebody, where we could share that same kind of goal and what we want in life, and be in the right space mentally to be able to do so. And then also knowing that it's going to be on TV, so there is some level of exposure that's going to be there. So that's how I went into it. And based on conversations, that's how I felt like majority of us went into it, right? So, part seeing what would happen, and then obviously knowing that it's on TV, it's something new, you'll get exposure as well. So
yeah, I can identify with that. Definitely was like, I don't know, but hey, could be. Let's see.
Well, speaking of exposure, I want to talk more about what the two of you have coming down the pipeline as it relates to your business, your brand. What can we come to expect from you as a next step? Like, so we can support you, right? Because we want to expose you. So who wants to go first and just kind of, shit, this your time to brag. Put it out.
I mean, I could go. I mean, so for me, obviously, like I said, music is a big thing in my life, and right now I'm working on some things where I'm working with a label company in the UK, because Afrobeats is big over there.
Yep.
So right now working on songs. I've been making songs, fixing, mixing, mastering, all this stuff, getting everything ready. So come January, I'm gonna start releasing a bunch of stuff through them. I know they release music through Sony Music and all this stuff. So it's very exciting. It's kind of like a next level to what I've been doing already. And just having some, a label behind of that is definitely exciting for me and an accomplishment for me. So I can't wait until all these things start to come out. You'll see press release and all these different things. I'll be performing here and there and all that stuff. So I'm excited, and hopefully, people can get on board as well as we start releasing this stuff. And I appreciate all the support, definitely. But that's what I have coming up, and so look out for that. Should be some good things happening
And we've posted LJ's music stream in the chat. We've posted his IG. So show this brother some love. Go over to Apple Music. Make sure we do a few downloads to make sure that we make an impact. Not only supporting a Black artist, but giving him that exposure, kind of pushing him up on those charts. Kayla, what do you have coming from the pipeline?
Okay, so as you guys know, I have my channel here on YouTube. I will be rolling out some new content. Cooking with Kayla for the holidays is coming. I love cooking. And I've been doing a lot of cooking lately with people I've been spending time with. There is also going to be other content on my channel, including try-ons and story time and mukbangs. And then my website will be live December 1st. There'll be merch on there. Different things that just happen throughout the show, my life, and then I'm also working on a novel, so that will be out soon. So stay tuned for all three of those. And then I may be on a TV screen again in the start of 2023. So just stay tuned for that.
And is your YouTube with 2 T's or 1?
It's with 2 T's, the same way my name is, Kayla.com.
Yeah, so make sure you go over.
Yeah, y'all can drop the link.
Yeah, so she's going to share the link as well. If there's any questions that I can take 3 questions for the panel. If you want to come up, you got to be camera ready. But in the meantime, let me share Kayla's links. She's going to drop that. Okay, we got it. Give me 1 second. Let's see. You can't talk about the show that you have coming up, right?
No, I can't talk about that, but I can talk about any of the other stuff I'm doing with terms of like content on my channel. And if there is content that you guys like to see, I would love to hear about that. I will be dropping my Howard University homecoming vlog soon and my behind the scenes of the reunion very, very soon. Probably tomorrow, actually, because I did a behind the scenes that's hilarious. Just talking shit as usual. And then, like I said, like tune into the channel. I'm gonna be very, very active. And then when my website goes live, that's where you guys can get merch and stuff like that. As we know, or we may not know, I have an interior design and event planning company. And so I will be releasing a few just different items in the home decor sector. So
somebody posed a question. I skipped over it. It was for you, Kayla, but I'm going to ask the 2 of you before we wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
I also put the stream in the chat. So if you're camera ready, I can take 3 questions if anybody's bold enough or brave enough to come on. LJ, are you currently in a relationship right now?
No relationship right now. I'm still a single man. Still dating. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay, Kayla, they want to know: are you dating currently? Are you in a relationship?
I am seeing someone, so I am dating someone exclusively. However, I'm not in a relationship,
Okay.
Just leave it at that.
And somebody wants to know, did somebody say novel?
I did. Okay. I will talk more about that on my channel, but like I said, I'm a journalist, I'm a writer. That is my background for the past 15 years. And I've actually been working on something for like 6 years now. And so it's time.
Anything else the 2 of you would want people to know regarding who you are, what's to come next, how we can support you, anything we missed?
I don't know if we missed anything specifically. I just hope that everyone can take the time to like check out my channel and see who I am as a person. I feel like reality TV, kind of casts people in certain roles for the drama, and I get that. However, if people would like to actually do the research on me, I am a professionally trained dancer. I have a astute resume. I've danced for all of the artists that you listen to on your phones. I'm in their videos. I've been on tour. I'm a professional dancer. So yes, I am in music videos. If you want to check out some of those, Bryson Tiller, Rihanna, Drake, DJ Khaled, I can go on in terms of my features. So I just want to clear that up for anyone that's confused. That your girl is. Yes. But yeah, I love dance. I still teach dance. I teach ballet to the kids. And I am expanding to doing more choreography and things of that nature. But yeah, just like that background that I feel like maybe people don't have because of the way that it was like the juxtaposition that was created in the show makes it seem like something else. But check my resume, boo. Don't do it, you know?
LJ?
Yeah, and yeah, I'll echo what
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'll echo what Kayla mentioned, right? Like, you know, the show obviously is a show. They gotta do what they do, but really get to know the cast, right? So, you know, check us out or check me out on social media. I do have a YouTube channel and all these different things, but I'm always doing different things, right? Whether it's business, music. I'm very passionate about those two things, right? So I'm in the community helping as well. I'm an alpha out. In the fraternity, and we always give back. I always do different things with my fraternity as well. So, get to know me outside the show. What you see on the show is the show, but I'm a real person, and you get to know me, you'll like me. You know what I'm saying? So, support. I'll always support, anyone that support me as well. So, yeah.
Same. Yeah, truly T. I will be back this Wednesday. It's been a whirlwind, but I'll be back this Wednesday on Cruise Season.
Yeah. And I just think both of you are so beautiful. I wish you nothing but the best when it comes to love, prosperity, financial profits, all of that good stuff that goes along with hard work. This has been amazing. RJ, if and when you do, LJ, I'm sorry, if and when you do find love, can you come back and talk to me so I can talk to you in your booth?
I'm coming back too because I want to hear about it, okay? And I'm coming down to Brickell to meet her, all right?
Yeah, so let me double check to make sure I didn't miss any questions. It's just a morning show. Thank you, everyone, for having a cup of coffee with Kayla today. Thank you, LJ, for showing up with your coffee in hand. You know what I was going to say to you? You look great in those glasses. You should come up with your own eyewear brand.
Is that Prada, Mama? Is that what I'm seeing?
You know what it is, girl? Yeah, it's Prada.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate that. Maybe I should, yeah.
You know what? I don't know about that though, because if the devil wears Prada, then you got to Louis Vuitton me, okay?
Well, nice
my own. Oh, we have merch coming. We got merch.
Ooh, yes.
Where can they find
Yes.
that? Will that be on your Instagram that we posted in the
So
chat?
I have it's on ljsmoothmerch.com. I'll put the link here. But yeah, it's merch. I got merch.
All right.
I need some of that. Hello?
I got you.
Yeah, you've heard it here first, everybody. There's a lot of good things coming down the pipeline. Make sure you show love and support. And hey, Christmas is right around the corner, so we got you. Until then, have a beautiful Saturday.
Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you, Queen.
Thank you.
How do y'all feel? We're done.
Hold on one second. Hold on.
I ended the broadcast. Double check. Good job. Thank you both. Y'all did